It's Monday, February 28th, 2022, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Prime Minister off to CARICOM, the Bahamas National Trust restoring mangroves, our men's national basketball team on the court, and meet the country's newest centenarian. So let's start the morning off right.
The Morning Edition is brought to you by We Buy You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
Once you choose hope, anything is possible. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
Good morning, everybody. So glad to be in your company again to start this week off right. I'm the masterful, the great one,
Oh, Jesus.
the lonely one, Charles Fisher. Good morning, LaDawn. How you doing?
The big one, the fat one. Had a great weekend?
Had a great weekend. Had a great Sunday meal. I went out yesterday and I was stopped by this guy. He asked me about our breakfast last week, ice cream and grits. So you guys need to do something else. So I'm thinking of something else that we can do for tomorrow or probably.
I have it
you
for
have,
you.
you have an idea.
Let's do a wings challenge.
Wings challenge?
Yes. We can eat the spicy ones, we eat the barbecued ones, we eat the fried ones. And let's see who can eat the most.
When are we going to do that?
Right after you do the trivia for the wings.
That's a good segue into this. And we have our gift to give away. Wicked Wings is another gift certificate from Wicked Wings. So let's bring that question up on the screen. During which U.S. holiday is the Buffalo Wings Festival held? The number to dial, 502-3855. Once again, during which U.S. holiday is the Buffalo Wings Festival held? Which is that? Independence?
I'm going to say Easter holiday.
Easter?
I don't want to say the right.
Who eats wings? And she did consume those 35,000 pounds of wings that she said she wanted to consume. We're going to go to traffic later on in our broadcast, but let's go to the weather right now to let you know just how things are shaping up. We are waking up to 68 degrees, mostly sunny, humidity 93%. Now, weak pressure pattern along the prefrontal troughing will support light winds and some shower activity over portions of the Bahamas throughout tonight. For all areas, weather partly to mostly sunny and very warm with isolated showers and the chance of an isolated thunderstorm across the extreme northwest and portions of the central Bahamas, turning mostly fair tonight with a high temperature today, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 64. And as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see some rain with sun, a passing shower early in the morning on Tuesday, 79 in the day, 68 at night, and then on Wednesday, those rains start to get out of here. Partly sunny and pleasant, 80 in the day, 68 at night.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis left the country on Sunday to make his first official appearance at the 33rd Intersessional Meeting of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community in San Pedro, Belize, March 1st and 2nd. It's the first time CARICOM heads will be meeting face-to-face in 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister's contingent comprises of Foreign Affairs Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell, Minister for Grand Bahama the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Bahamas High Commissioner to CARICOM Her Excellency Leslie Miller-Bryce, and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, John Pinder II.
With the outbreak of war in Ukraine, no doubt that's not on the agenda because no one expected it, but as a periphery and any other business, I intend to raise it to see how it impacts the Caribbean and in particular the Bahamas and how we could put up defenses to avoid the escalating costs or inflation.
Free National Movement executives, members, and supporters gathered at the New Destiny Baptist Church on Gladstone Road Sunday morning, fresh off its national convention on Friday. The service commemorating 50 years of existence. F&M leader Michael Pintard says the party is rejuvenated and ready to continue the work ahead.
We want Bahamians to continue to be safe. We know that the biggest challenge for Bahamians right now is ensuring that they can earn revenue to put food on the table to address the needs of their family. And so you'll hear us increasingly talk about how to ensure that we bring prosperity back to the Bahamas. We're willing to work with the government in order to make this happen, and where they are not collaborative, to put on the public record the ideas that we have.
8 new COVID-19 cases reported in the latest release by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, all here in the capital, with one of them showing a history of travel within the last 14 days. The cases evenly split 4 apiece between men and women. Hospitalizations now at 23, with 2 persons in the intensive care unit. Active cases stand at 5,925, with 5 new recoveries. Renovations are currently underway at the Princess Margaret Hospital's Rand Morgue. While these renovations won't expand capacity, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville, says it will improve the working conditions for staff and enhance other systems like autopsies and viewing of bodies by relatives.
When we go to review the remains of our loved ones, we need to be in an environment that fits the occasion. The name of the contractor, I can't tell you offhand, but they have been working for the last maybe 3 to 4 months, and the work is moving very rapidly. It's a 2-phase approach. We had to first renovate a section of the morgue where we can move the staff in that area when we get into the actual morgue itself, and to fix a lot of the mechanical issues to reduce the condensation, because at one point there was some element of mold, and you know where there's moisture there's going to be mold, so we had to fix the engineering challenges.
The Bahamas Society of Ophthalmic Nurses installing a new group of members over the weekend. Pastor Leonardo Raming from the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired congratulated the new officers and pledged to continue working with them.
You have the tools, you have the expertise, so all we can do is to join you and support you as you seek to apply your training in preventing blindness and to preserve vision. The less amount of blind persons around is that our work as an organization will be easier. Less people to train, less people to educate, less people to provide employment, and less people to advocate on their behalf.
Meantime, many residents and fans still suffering through Junkanoo withdrawals, wondering if the major holiday parades will be back by the end of the year. Chairman of the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, Chairman Dion Miller, gave this update.
We met with the Minister, Mr. Mario Boleg, about a month ago, and at the conclusion of those meetings, we both agreed that there should be Junkanoo parades this year. And so the JCNP has officially reactivated. We are in the process of meeting with the various Junkanoo groups now, and the big thing now is trying to determine what type of Junkanoo we will have this year. There will be several amendments that will have to be made due to COVID and finances, and so those discussions have begun.
Cable Bahamas group of companies is celebrating women in technology. We're taking this opportunity to pause and highlight the leading ladies in information, communication, and technology who are breaking stereotypes and shattering glass ceilings. We hope you'll join us in honoring the tremendous girl power that keeps our community connected.
Music producer and recording artist Katya joins us next time on Journey TV. Katya shares her journey of healing and self-discovery, which gave her the tools to thrive through anxiety and the courage to share her music with the world. Don't you miss this inspiring story. Tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. on ZNS. Journey TV, we share life's truths.
Public Hospital's medical laboratory at the Princess Margaret Hospital, in conjunction with the Bahamas Public School System, the University of the Bahamas, and the Church of God of Prophecy Youth Ministries, will launch its medical technology teaching cadet program tomorrow. This morning, we're joined by Bernice McLean, who is the chairperson of the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists, and Dr. Susanna Gall, the Dean of the College of Pure and Allied Sciences at the University of the Bahamas. Ladies, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. So, Ms. McLean, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit more about the program.
The medical technology program
is a program that is essential to the healthcare system of the Bahamas. What we hope to do and what we propose to do is to introduce students from grade 10 through University of the Bahamas age group, as well as persons who are interested in changing their careers, to expose them to the importance and the efficacy of the medical laboratory through the teachings of certain principles that are required for a medical technologist to exist and to operate at the Princess Margaret hospitals and medical laboratories throughout the Bahamas.
And Dr. Gale, are you able to provide us with more insight on the role the university will play in this program?
Our role is to connect the university students to this great opportunity and support the country in its finding of more medical technologists to serve the need. And so we're going to be doing some outreach to our students, as well as a career symposium that we'll have later in March.
That's interesting. So what is the overall aim of the program, and what career paths will be offered?
Well, right now, what we're just focusing on, the career paths that are offered in the medical laboratory are encouraged to be a part of this program, whereby persons at the end goal will become medical technologists. So this is just a foundational course to introduce persons in the medical technology profession. So at the end of this project, we are hoping that students will be persuaded to enter an accredited American university to study medical technology, to return to the Bahamas as human resources to fill medical laboratories again throughout the Bahamas.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and good luck tomorrow and moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The Bahamas National Trust continuing its work to restore parts of the environment damaged by Hurricane Dorian. Crystal Darling reports.
They're quite a sight to behold, stretching far and wide across the waterfront. But that's not just for show. Mangroves are also on the front lines when hurricanes come, holding off powerful storm surge. Bahamas National Trust Senior Science Officer Lindy Knowles says that various community partners assembled months after the storm initially hit to replant the mangroves in the Northern Mangrove Restoration Project that to this day has seen almost 100,000 mangroves restored.
They were able to start consolidating mangroves from areas that were alive, bringing in from other islands, bringing in from other countries like Florida, well, the U.S. and Florida, putting them together, growing them in a greenhouse for a bit, and then on these very strategic days going out and planting tens of thousands of mangroves. And they do this multiple times a year. So I would imagine since the start of the project, it has been maybe the 9th or 10th planting that's taking place. In fact, there's one taking place in Abaco today and tomorrow. And I think they're looking to plant about 12,000 mangroves there as well.
These powerful plants thrive on swamp land, with their pronounced roots firmly planted underground. However, the mangroves were no match for the 2019 Category 5 Hurricane Dorian, which tore through Grand Bahama and Abaco, uprooting up to 95% of these plants in some areas.
For the time it took for Hurricane Dorian to pass over the islands, I think it was like 1 mile an hour for that day during a particularly high tide. And so those islands, like much of the Bahamas, particularly the Pine Islands, are half hilly side, half mangroves. So when you accounted for the amount of mangroves lost on those islands, it was a substantive loss.
Knowles explains how mangroves are a natural benefit to islands.
Anywhere that has a seawall, when the winter storms come, the water just comes straight onto the road. But areas that have, substantive rock, revetment, or any kind of plant life, you get nearly as much water on it. So the mangroves in those systems help to buffer the storm. Now, unfortunately, the storm they were facing was one of the most intense, but on flat lands like Abaco and Grand Bahama, a 24-foot storm surge pretty much whips through wherever it wants to go. If they weren't there, and that storm water had come at full force 24 feet into the island, it would have been significantly worse.
Knowles says that their goal is to plant somewhere between 100,500 to 200,000 mangroves.
She's already well known as a local human rights activist who has for decades sought to protect women throughout the Bahamas. Now she's carving out a personalized piece of history that not only advances her career, but marks a first for the Bahamas. Here's Carla Palmer with that.
Who she is just as important as what she does and whom she represents. In fact, Marissa Mason Smith will go down in history because she is the first ombudsman in the country employed in that capacity at the University of the Bahamas.
The word ombudsman comes from a Scandinavian term means representative.
The term may seem simple, but it's the job Mason Smith is required to do as an ombudsman that makes the difference. Taking into account independence, neutrality, and confidentiality, her job involves resolving disputes between the university and its stakeholders.
That includes the union, that includes former students of the university, that includes current students, administration, faculty. The Office of the Ombudsman is an independent office, and in this office we see our stakeholders of the university who may have unresolved matters, outstanding issues that have not been resolved internally. They can come into the Office of the Ombudsman, and the Office of the Ombudsman will then liaise with the respective departments and or leaders at the university to determine what is the situation, and then we seek to have it resolved.
According to Smith, her task assigned is also to assess and reassess policies to determine their effectiveness with a view to making recommendations.
I was officially selected by the Board of Directors. As a matter of fact, I report directly to the Board of Trustees.
Smith is now a part of the international body of ombudsmen, many of whom represent accredited universities and governments.
It holds the government also accountable with a level of independence and accountability. Case in point, the police department. Of course, you have the police investigating the police. And, sometimes the perception can be that they're always going to go in favor of their own.
Smith was appointed to the position in 2020, and since then, she's had 100% resolution, clearing some 200 cases.
And for many residents, a hot meal may be out of reach due to financial constraints brought on by inflation and other personal issues. But as Jimonita Swain tells us this morning, officials at the Upper Salvation Army are doing what they can to provide for those in need.
So we're still feeding 5 days a week. Those numbers you see fluctuating. You have persons driving up to receive food for lunch. When you think about it, if they can save $5 or $6 from buying lunch, they would come to us to get a sandwich or a hot meal that goes further along in their household. So definitely that demand is still there. It hasn't changed. It may be a different grouping of people depending on the time of year, depending on the day of the week, but definitely our numbers continue to be high.
Community Relations and Development Associate Melanie Coakley McKinsey detailing the Salvation Army's ongoing feeding program, pointing out that on Friday some hot meals were left, but they wouldn't linger for long.
We could feed anywhere between 80 to 100 persons per day. If it's a hot meal day, we know the line is going to be very long, and they're going to be here very early, in reference to getting that hot meal from us, just to take them through the day or even through the evening, because some persons sometimes don't eat it right away. They take it with them.
And aside from distributing weekly hot meals, food parcels are also given out to those in need.
Normally, once a month through our lunch program. No questions asked. When they're getting their lunch, they get a small parcel bag to carry with them. So you'll find persons waiting for that, because there's no details. As you shove up your lunch, you get your bag. And so when you add those numbers up, we can say about 200 bags a month that we're giving away to clients that show up to our doors every day. Not that if there's any other special circumstances, we're not helping persons, because there are other circumstances we are still doing that kind of work.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On February 28, 1980, the American television show Hee Haw was in Nassau to film a show which featured Government House, Adastra Gardens, the Straw Market, and the Cloisters on Paradise Island. Also on this day in 2000, an accord was signed with Cuba on the transfer of sanctioned persons, which went into immediate effect, making it possible for Bahamian citizens jailed in Cuba to complete their sentences at home.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Our senior men's national basketball team with a win and a loss during this weekend's FIBA 2023 World Cup qualifier in the Dominican Republic. On Saturday, Willis Markey Jr. 25 points, 10 rebounds. Michael Thompson Jr. had 19, and Dan Chicken Knowles and Devario Miller each with 14, and Travis Munnings had a start line of 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists in the 86-76 win over the U.S. Virgin Islands. Then on Sunday, running with the Dominican Republic, the legs were just not there down the stretch despite leading 20-11 after one, as we lost this one 90-65. Travis with 16, Devario 14, and Michael with 10. Now the Bahamas will play again. That's the third and final leg, July 1st, against these same two teams. Charisma Taylor ended her first SEC Indoor Championships with a bang for Tennessee. She took home medals in the women's triple and 60-meter hurdles. In the triple jump, Taylor notched a best jump of 45.1 for third place. As for the hurdles, she toppled her own school record, winning the silver in 7.93. Action heating up in the pool are weeks away from the 2022 Crafter Championship. Several swimmers qualified at the Blue Waves meet over the weekend, but the swim back to the top certainly won't be easy, as COVID has certainly thrown a curveball at both swimmers and coaches.
COVID is definitely affected the swimmers. It's definitely reduced the amount of time the swimmers have been able to get inside the water. COVID has also kind of put a hamper on the amount of events that we've been able to have. But I think one of the good things is that now we're back in full force. Things are slowly starting to open up. We're adhering to all of the COVID protocols, but more importantly, the swimmers are back in the water and performing very, very well.
The Run for Fun cruise group was in town over the weekend. The small collection of family friends have made its mission to partake in a 6K run or walk every island they visit. The Bahamas just happened to be their latest stop.
This is our fourth stop on the cruise. We're done tomorrow. We've stopped at every port, and the cities have organized a race for us. Between 5K and a little bit more than a 5K, we've done scavenger hunts, just anything to get off the ship and get active. It's a little humid. So I'm from Arkansas, United States, which they actually had a bunch of snow days. I'm a teacher. School was canceled. So I'm used to a little bit cooler this time of year. So it's hot, but I loved it. I got a lot of encouragement. People driving by, I assume people will be honking because they're angry, but they're honking and cheering me on. It was awesome.
Julian Gray, and this is Up Close.
And for those who have not made their morning commute as yet, we're going to check in with our Crystal Darling to see just how the traffic is out there. Good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning, Fisher, and good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here on the intersection of East Street and Soldier Road, where we can see the traffic is starting to really build up this morning. I'm here with Officer Patrick Kemp, who's going to give us an update of last night's traffic.
Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Bahamas. And you're absolutely correct. For Monday morning, the traffic has certainly increased for this morning. So I want to encourage the drivers out there to please drive with due care and attention. Pay special attention to any road markings and signs that are erected for your safety and other road user safety, and utilize your seatbelt. Reported to us within the last 24 hours, we've had over 5 accidents. One in particular that happened on JFK on yesterday evening. My mother was traveling eastbound on JFK, where she would have lost control of her vehicle and collided into a tree on the northern side of the street. Thank God nobody was injured in that matter. And it just goes to show that persons are not being careful in the way they maneuver and drive their vehicle through the street. So please out there, please be careful while you're on the streets.
And Officer Kemp, we're at a very, very busy intersection with lots of lanes. Could you remind us, how should we use the lanes when we come to intersections like this one?
Well, especially at this particular intersection, Crystal, we have persons who are traveling north on East Street. And I want to say to the drivers, if you're heading north on East Street, by the time as you get in the area of Esso gas station, it is not a third lane. There are only 2 lanes that take you in the northern directions. Persons tend to create a third lane to make a right turn onto Soldier Road, and that is wrong. That lane is actually for persons heading south that may want to enter into the gas station. Also, persons who are heading south on East Street, when they get in the area of the pharmacy, they tend to cut over in the northbound lane into Rubis gas station. That is dangerous. And I expect the drivers out there to please exercise good judgment and common sense when you are making these decisions that could have consequences.
Thank you so much for that report this morning, Officer Kemp. Back to you in the studio, Fisher and LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Crystal. Well, Pearl Moxie marked a milestone last week, celebrating her 100th birthday. Family and friends joined the country's newest centenarian at Pat Senior Citizens Home for a wonderful party. Also there was the Minister of State for Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Lisa Raming.
We look forward to doing great things, even greater, with Mrs. Pat Moxie and her citizen home. And so I say happy birthday to Mrs. Moxie, Pearl Moxie. She's the aunt of Cynthia, Mother Pratt. And so I want to say to our family, God bless you. And I wish you all the best. And I told Mom to give me a blessing. She blessed me. So I'm looking to be 100 years and more in my lifetime.
At Senior Citizens Home, operator Pat Moxie was ecstatic to be celebrating the day with her Aunt Pearl. She shared some health tips provided to her by the birthday lady.
I used to have sinus real bad, and she caused me to get rid of it. She took and she swept my head with the medicine and the blue medicine. She swept my head with the catnip, and I've never had sinus since. So if anybody who might have a sinus problem, the hot water, the blanket, and the cabinet, you sniff that and you hold it in through your mouth and you will be relieved. Also, she gave me tips of when you're tired and you can't sleep, you get a bucket of hot water and throw the eucalyptus oil in and you sleep like a baby. She taught me all those things. So I'm grateful.
Fisher, that's a pretty good
100 years old, one is still looking young.
Yeah, and so we have to put that plea out to Wicked Wings for that Wings trivia. You're going to do it? Or?
Yeah, we're going to do it, but let's give the winner for this morning bring that question back. It is a Labor Day when the most wings are consumed, and the winner this morning is Frederica Monroe. Frederica Monroe, you can pick up your gift certificate for those Wicked Wings from the Broadcasting Corporation of Bahamas anytime today. Congratulations to Frederica Monroe. Also, congratulations to Ronaldo and Zerlin. They were on our show a few weeks ago. Russell appeared on our Valentine's show. They tied the knot over the weekend, and congratulations to them. I'm so happy for them. They look so nice there. They look lovely. They look nice. But be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. And then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas tonight at 7 o'clock. It's the final day in February, and then the best month of the year. March is here.
Only because it's your
I promise you.
But anyway.
Even though I said it's the last day in February, I promise you that I'll be extra great to you on the 31st of February. I'll be extra nice to you, LaDawn. I'm going to buy you a gift.
There's no such day. No such day, guys. Have a great morning, everybody.